What's going on? Thanks for checking out this video. So, do you all remember that Scooby-Doo reboot in production for HBO Max that doesn't even have Scooby-Doo in it? Oh, but no need to worry. In Scooby-Doo's place, the stunning and brave decision has been made to change it from a fun little kid show into a made-for-teens romp that's obsessed with identity politics. All the fun and wacky hijinks have been completely removed, and now it's a dramedy with a heavy focus on meta. You know, because meta is the cool hip thing for bad writers to do now. It's called Velma, and for some reason, HBO actually thinks there's an audience somewhere who wants a cartoon that makes Miss Dinkley the main character. Because as we know, fans are always clamoring for side characters to finally have their time in the limelight, even though they were never the reason most people are watching something to begin with. I'll hedge a bet that most of you probably memory hold this show unintentionally, because when its synopsis was revealed, it sounded like yet another agenda-driven dumpster fire that takes something so many people probably have very fond memories of and transformed it into some unrecognizable cringe fest that nobody wanted or asked for. Just listen to this. As Velma attempts to get answers as to what happened to her mother, though, a bigger mystery at the school arises, one that Velma can't solve without some help from school slacker Norville, ex-BFF turned frenemy Daphne, and Fred, the embodiment of white male privilege. You gotta be kidding me. Will any adults take Velma's claim seriously? Will Fred manage to learn that inner beauty exists because he's just a shallow and evil white man? Who will hook up with who in this complicated love quadrangle? These are just a few of the mysteries this show explores. So yeah, this is what we're dealing with here. You know, when I heard this, my eyes rolled so far up into my head that I could see the inside of my eye sockets. Hollywood is so devoid of ideas, it's just a sea of remakes and adaptations. You know, they can never just make up something on their own that no one will give a damn about when they stuff it with their terrible ideology. Nope. They always have to take well-established franchises in the hopes of profiting off of its name, and then they bastardize it to hell to own the incels. Even though it never seems to work out so well for them, but they keep doing it anyway. But this is where it gets funny though. I mean, we had no doubt the show was going to be trash. You know, it isn't exactly difficult for us to predict what exactly is going to be garbage. But even their own people, the ones who are expected to enjoy crap like this, don't even like it. Now, the show doesn't officially launch for another 2 days at the time of recording this, January 12th. But some early reviews from the Access media have dropped from the critics who are always careful to not step on the toes of their corporate overlords. But shockingly, they aren't exactly heaping the praise on this one. You know, I guess the show is inconsequential enough that they can bash it without concern for losing their access. So, let's dive in. Velma review. A promising reinvention is wasted on lame jokes, prequelitis, and bad meta. You know, I would hardly have called this a promising reinvention, and I'm not even opposed to making a version of Scooby-Doo that's for teens and adults. It could actually be a pretty cool idea, you know, one that's actually funny and doesn't leave out the most important character, Scooby-Doo. You know, like a version that would be right at home on something like Adult Swim, though I don't even know if that's a thing anymore. I'm referring to Adult Swim in its prime, baby, around 2003 to 2005. I could see it now. The show would fit right in if it had writing on par with gems like Aqua Teen Hunger Force or the Venture Brothers. But the issue is that they've removed all the best parts of the original show, mainly Shaggy and Scooby's wacky hijinks. Nobody gives a crap about Velma enough to be the primary character. Keep the side characters on the side, only serving as plot devices to help move the story forward, and backups to the characters you know everyone is there to see in the first place. And bad meta seems to be getting more prevalent than ever in Hollywood, especially recently with She-Hulk, the writers of which thought just because the character is self-aware in the comics that they'd actually be capable of pulling it off correctly, and obviously they weren't. Just think of that atrocious season finale. Good lord, that was embarrassing. And as for Velma, if you remember in the trailer, she was portrayed in this weird way, like how Hollywood thinks fans who criticize their idiotic decisions must act in real life. She was basically saying racist nonsense because in their view, anyone who criticizes them must be a racist. So once again, putting their loathing of fans on full display for everyone to witness, which is always nice. They want our money, but they refuse to make products we actually want to see. Such logical decision making. So let's get back to it. The Scooby-Doo magic is how something so bland is also so weird. A doofus, a smarty, two boring beauties, and a talking dog drive to dark places in a bright van. Every week they find out a monster is just some guy scaring people away from his farm, family-run circus, defunct zoo, haunted hat factory. You could say the original series backwashed 60s counterculture into the American Gothic tradition, with meddling kids easy riding around ghastly swamp water olds. Come on though, Hanna-Barbera was just having a laugh on the deadline. Well, I mean, yeah, kid shows tend not to be overly complicated since kids are easy to entertain, and they aren't exactly critical thinkers yet. As long as the show is tailored to incredibly short attention spans, you're already 99% of the way there. Still, Velma dares to ask a big dumb question. What if the Scooby-Doo gang were made of jerks who want a bone? Sounds pretty freaking stupid. This is my origin story, says Velma. At the start of the HBO Max reboot premiering January 12th, the series flashes back to the high school prehistory of the greatest team of spooky mystery solvers ever, when they variously hated or barely acknowledged each other. It's a prequel that pointlessly recasts diversely, reorients sexually, and over backstories generally. Should be fun. Doesn't sound fun at all to me, but it's a self-aware slog. Everyone talks like a TV writer who only knows TV writers. Well, yeah, that's what happens when you live in the Hollywood bubble, and the only contact you have with the wider world is through social media. And since you block any and all conflicting opinions to create your little safe space, you end up writing these ridiculous characters that don't actually talk like real people. And oftentimes they're modeled after these types the writers have invented in their own freaking heads. You know, the way they talk and behave, but they don't actually exist. At Crystal Cove High School, Daphne is a popular mean girl orphan who deals drugs because of a dark family secret. Her boyfriend Fred personifies mediocre white richness. Did I mention the word cringe enough yet? Hollywood is never going to get it through their thick skulls, are they? His mansion holds a dark secret, and he has teeny whittle privates, a subject of much conversation. Of course they give the white guy a tiny penis. Shaggy has become Norville, a school newspaper striver friend-zoned by his beloved Velma. He worries he's a beta male. Remember that lame humor concept from 20 years ago? You know, it's really funny how Shaggy has been changed to a black dude and they changed his name as well, yet they've turned him into this guy who's stuck in the friend zone with Velma. You know, I wouldn't expect them to make him such a pathetic character once they race swapped him. In my possibly foggy recollection, Velma was the only one mentally equipped to actually solve crimes, unless Scooby pratfalled into the Rillins Recruit Red Quarters. For now, this reboot is dogless. Yes, for now, until they grow desperate after viewer numbers fall off an immediate cliff. You know, once that initial buzz of a new show wears away, and I don't expect the buzz to be that big to begin with. Now Velma is a misfit searching for her disappeared mother and investigating a maniac cutting girls' heads open. She exemplifies Kaling's brainy, thirsty persona, complaining about the patriarchal male gaze. In the same episode where she has to subvert her best instincts to beg attractive classmates to muster all your sexiness and lure everyone away with a sexy dance. All right, I've had enough of this. The show sounds like absolute dog crap, just as we expected. So if you care enough to actually want to finish this review, I'll link it in the video description for you. There's only a few paragraphs left, but I just can't take reading about this anymore. Plus, I'm sure most of you who actually happen to find this video are going to click away if I keep reading this tripe. This is the absolute pinnacle of wokeness, and it's obviously intentional. This is Santa Inc. all over again. They're just giving everyone the finger while laughing. I swear, they just don't care about making the most money possible anymore. And even though I personally don't really care that much about Scooby-Doo, I still never shy away from giving Hollywood shit whenever they mess with well-established franchises. It's gotta stop. So, that's it. Let me know what you think of this in the comments down below. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button and check out one of these other videos I uploaded recently. Or consider subscribing if you want more content just like this. I'll catch you all later.